I'm not going to travel through the American West without telling you a little bit about gay cowboys. Because we need to be real about what history is. Gay cowboys were all over the American West. There's often this myth of the Lone Ranger. We like to perpetuate that there were these rugged men that traveled and did it all alone. But that was nearly impossible without death. Obviously, there are circumstances, but you needed somebody to rely on to survive the barren landscape of the 1800s American West. So, men traveled with a partner or partners, and all alone, with no one for miles and miles and miles but the other men that they were with. Yeah, you can guess that things happen. And that was widely accepted. It wasn't necessarily talked about. People don't go into town, holding hands with their other cowboys or things like that. But people knew what was going on and, understood that men had urges. It also makes a lot of sense that the Wild West attracted gay men because it was away from society, right? If somebody was gay in a city where they were surrounded by people and had eyes on them at all time, the Wild West offered freedom, right? That's what we associate the Wild West with ultimate freedom. So it was a perfect place for a gay man to run away from society. And it wasn't just gay men. Women came this way too. There were plenty of lesbians that preferred the more rugged lifestyle. There's lots of instances of transgender individuals that really took advantage of the Wild West and used it as an opportunity to really lean into being a man. Harry Allen is one of the most famous circumstances. It surprised a lot of people in 1948 when Alfred Kinsey was doing a study on sexuality and said that the most common cases of homosexuality were in rural towns. But again, it makes sense. Eyes were away from people. Often they were men overload anyway. There wasn't as many women around. And things happen. So as I'm traveling through Cody, Wyoming, a town that was founded by Buffalo Bill, and I'm not sure if there are any historical documents of Buffalo Bill being gay. That's not what this video is about. But it's hard not to think about the people that came through here that were living the Brokeback Mountain lifestyle. That movie wasn't just a movie. It was actually a much more honest depiction of the American West than a lot of the Hollywood cowboy that we see of a Lone Ranger being as rugged as possible and finding a woman when he came to town, because that just wasn't the case. There weren't that many women around, but you know what? There were a lot of other cowboys, and those cowboys had some fun.